Hello guys, so how are you doing and what's your name?
I'm Husband also, Alhamdulillah, I'm doing fine.
Wow, okay, and what about you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm also fine. I'm Adian Rahman.
Okay, so what grade are you guys studying right now?
Well, I'm in grade 8 and
I'm also in standard 8, sir.
Okay,
Edexcel.
wow. So you guys are friends and today we are gonna talk about the story behind Eid al-Adha because we know like Eid al-Adha is coming within a few days, like 5 days I guess. So how are you feeling? Like, are you excited or how do you feel about like celebrating Eid al-Adha especially?
Oh, I feel boisterous, sir. Very excited.
Exactly, right? What about you? How do you feel?
well, after the Eid al-Fitr, I'm all fired up for Eid al-Adha.
Right?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah, I feel like I'm super excited for like buying the cattle and then also going to the hut. It's all a different experience. For especially, I feel like for boys, I feel because we get to experience so much, like practically cutting the cattle and then exactly. I feel like during this time, I feel like I'm an adult because you get so many responsibilities and then you fulfill them by doing all those. So that's good. So enough with that. Now I want to know more about what's the history. How are we celebrating Eid al-Adha and why are we celebrating Eid al-Adha? Like, what's the importance and significance behind it?
Well, the history of Eid al-Adha came from a dream. The story was from the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail alayhi salam. So what happened was around 2000 BCE, Ibrahim alayhi salam had a dream where he saw that he was commanded by Allah, the Almighty, to sacrifice his own son, his own blood, Ismail alayhi salam, for the sole purpose of sacrificing for Allah. So he discussed the matter with Ismail alayhi salam and he agreed, which shows a display of their faith. Moving on, the next morning, as they both agreed, Ismail alayhi salam was ready to be sacrificed and Ibrahim alayhi salam held a blade at his neck. He was his own son, so he had to close his eyes before sacrificing. So as he closed his eyes and put the blade like this and then he forced, then what happened was when he opened his eyes, he saw that it was a sheep rather than Ismail alayhi salam, which shows the great, how much Allah loves His own people and His own slaves, as we all know. Yeah, so that is how the tradition of Eid al-Adha came. It was due to the extreme courage shown by Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail alayhi salam and their mentality to sacrifice for Allah at first.
Thank you so much, and that is actually the very profound story about the Eid al-Adha, like the story behind Eid al-Adha. And sometimes I imagine like what goes through the mind of such a young child who's supposed to be sacrificed, to be agreed upon, right? And that is just shows the level of faith they had, and hopefully we all can achieve that goal, aim to achieve that. So inshallah. And now the next question for you would be, why is the sacrifice important? So why are we doing the sacrifice? So why are we sacrificing the animal basically?
Well, for Ibrahim alayhi salam, it was sacrificing his own son, with whom he had shared a lot of memories, with whom he had shared his love. Now, if we talk about the significance of sacrificing, we can say that the significance lies in our heart. And that is because it is not just killing an animal or sacrificing an animal.
Right.
We have to share time with that animal, we have to love that animal, and we have to have a good relationship with the animal. This is because if we see that from a logical perspective, our Almighty does not get the blood of the animal, nor does He get the flesh of the animal, but what He gets is our faith, is our belief, and our love for the animal. It's not all about money, but it's about what lies in the heart. And that is why our Eid al-Adha is one of the most significant events for our Islam.
Right. Wow, so profound, I feel like. And moving on, thank you so much. And moving on to you would be like a really basic question that I want to know is what is actually Qurbani? Like, what is it?
Qurbani, sir? This is actually a very good question because many of us do Qurbani each and every single year. Many of us learn how to do Qurbani, and many of us know the etiquette of Qurbani. But what is this Qurbani? This is a wonderful question, but I can tell it very simply because Qurbani is a word.
Right.
It's an Arabic, it's coming from the derivation of an Arabic word, Qurban, which means sacrifice.
Right.
Qurbani for us Muslims is a religious act. This is the act when we sacrifice an animal, which would of course be halal,
Right.
for the purpose, the sole purpose, for seeking Allah's pleasure and mercy. This is for the remembrance of what we are from, to know our grounds, and to be rooted in our Islamic culture and celebrate a very joyous occasion which was commenced by Ibrahim alayhi salam during his inauguration when he pleased Allah through the almost sacrifice of his son Ismail alayhi salam. But fortunately, Allah is the most blissful creator and He is the one and only. And that's why He gave us such a wonderful occasion.
Wow, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I feel we all should know like what is like the reason and the actual meaning behind this Eid coming up. And we all should know also like the in-depth, the story behind it. So my next question to you would be like, why do we like sacrifice the cattle or the livestock rather than buying the same meat from outside? Why do we have to have an emotional bond with the animal? Like, why is it important?
A very good question, sir. And also, it is very philosophical, to be honest. Because if we think from perspective, we have meat everywhere now.
Right.
In this modern world, there's market. We also have families. We keep meat in our storages and
Right.
many other places. However, when we talk about Qurbani, when we intend to sacrifice an animal for Allah's pleasure, it is us taking the responsibility to do it for the one and only.
Right.
When we are doing this, we are not only sacrificing an animal, as my friend Adian mentioned, what we are doing is we are sacrificing an animal through our money. We are sacrificing a part of our wealth in order to gain more success through our Creator. How? We are removing our bad habits. We're letting go of our ego, we're letting go of our greed, we're letting go of everything which is stopping us from doing many generous and good things.
Right.
What we also do is when we buy an animal, we usually nowadays take our friends, families, relatives, and everyone. So this creates a very beautiful family or relative occasion.
Right.
This creates family bondage. This
Definitely.
yes, sir. This strengthens the friends bondage. This creates a very strong crystal lattice which strengthens our Muslim ummah.
True.
Yes.
Very true. I feel like most of the memories we have of Qurbani is like going to the cattle shop or the hut with all our friends or families together and then experiencing that place together with our loved ones.
Oh yes, sir. It's such a wonderful place for us
Right.
males, especially. What we do there, what we go to do there, when we negotiate, when we coordinate, and the part when we bring the cow. Oh,
Exactly.
That is-
Right. That is very true. So my next question to you would be like, why do we have to do it every year? Like, why not like once a lifetime or once? Why is it every year? You know?
Oh, love that question, sir. This is very important actually, because when we sacrifice an animal once, the deed is already done. Because it's within our heart now. We have already done our part, we have done the intention, we have brought the animal, we have sacrificed it, we have united our family, we have strengthened our ummah.
Right.
But if we think practically, does practicing one time makes you an expert in what you do?
Never.
Never. Exactly, sir. Even if you want to be a professional, if you want to be an artist, you have to do at least, not at least, but many drawings, 500 drawings, 600 drawings before you create a
Definitely.
masterpiece.
Right.
When you practice music, though we shouldn't, I don't think it is very halal.
Right. Okay.
But if you talk about music in this modern world, even the artists nowadays, they have to, not nowadays,
Right.
of all the decades, they had to practice multiple times, again and again,
Very true.
until they got the correct note.
Right.
Similarly, if you talk about spiritually and religiously, when we sacrifice an animal, it is not just an emotional connection with the animal, it is to continuously return back to the one and only God with our family, and to bring in the significance of such a culture. When we sacrifice every year, we bring back our intentions. When we sacrifice every year,
Right.
we reduce the bad habits, we give away those bad habits and start afresh again.
Right.
When we again rejoice together, we are not only doing this for ourselves, we are doing this for our entire family, for our friend community, for the entire Muslim community.
Right.
Then
And
that's
mostly for ourselves, by like sacrificing all the bad habits that we have within ourselves, and
Definitely.
sacrificing all the bad intentions that we may have in our hearts. So that's like self-cleansing by favoring like Allah, right? So
It's like a laser beam, sir. Concentrated beam goes like an internal force and would never stop unless barricaded. And to not do the barricade, always move forward.
Right.
Always practice, always reflect, always recount. And
Right.
that's the way how we always celebrate the Eid al-Adha and submit to Allah and become a powerful Muslim ummah in this planet and
Right.
hereafter.
I feel like I'm really deeply moved by what you're saying, and I feel like it is really a point that we all should reflect upon, because in this growing age we all seem to be having forgotten our histories, our culture, our traditions that we have been following. So heritage, definitely. So we need to reflect and know more about this. So one last technical question I would ask you is that we all bought the cow, we did the qurbani. Now the final step is like distributing, right? So what's the rule for distributing the meat of our animal that we've sacrificed?
Technical indeed, very technical indeed. And I love your question, sir. Because when we sacrifice an animal, we have already done our part.
Right.
But how to distribute the animal meat and parts? Well, for this also, the most benevolent, the All-High, the most majestic Creator, our one and only Allah, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, has given a disciplinary rule. This is not for the sake that as slaves, as Allah's slaves, we are only fulfilling our duties. This is as a person, as an individual, as a member of an ummah, as
Right.
a mother, as a son, as a brother,
Right.
as a friend. So, when we distribute an animal, it is given through Allah that we do it mainly in three parts.
Right.
The first part being to ourselves, the sacrificials, who make the intention to do the sacrifice. So
Right.
these are given for the people, 1/3 of the portion. The second portion is definitely given to our families and friends, reinforcing our bond.
Right.
Third, we cannot forget this. Third, this is for the poor and the needy. Those who cannot celebrate or commit to
Right.
what they have to do with their financial situation. When we give them the meat, because they cannot do it themselves,
Right.
not only we are fulfilling our duty as part of the responsibility given to us by Allah, we are bringing a smile to their face.
Definitely.
We are-
like feeding their whole family, right? And that is actually important, as you have said, because
Just imagine someone smiling because of our good work. Someone
Right.
smiling because of what you did.
Right.
Although it was just your part, although you have satisfied your entire family, this is the force that makes us stronger than ever before.
That is definitely true, and I think like I've learned so much from what you both have enlightened me with, and hopefully everyone else can also learn about like the significance of this special occasion that is coming up, and hopefully we can fulfill all its requirement given to us by Allah. And thank you so much for enlightening me and all of us. Thank you.
Yes. And so let us all say together,
Yep.
Eid
Eid
Mubarak!
Mubarak.